Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm super excited for today's video. It is going to be my Sephora VIB sale follow-up haul where I'm giving you guys a bunch of speed reviews. Full transparency, I was planning to do this ranking style, and as I started to put the products together, I was like, I don't think I can rank these. So I have 4 separate categories. 1, 2, maybe 5 categories. Right now they're in 4, but I think I'm gonna actually break it into 5, ranging from don't touch this with a 10-foot pole all the way to have already repurchased. So there are quite a few products that I really have been enjoying, have been loving, but then there's a handful of products that just did not work out for me. I did sprinkle in a couple of items that I purchased, whether it be during the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty or they've just been sitting in my collection for a little bit of time and I'm ready to review them. There's a couple of those sprinkled in. So if you're interested in hearing my thoughts and speed reviews on a bunch of different products, stay tuned. First, if you have yet to subscribe to my channel and you like project panning content, palette themed content, or just chit-chatting about makeup, I'd love if you consider subscribing before moving on. And other than that, let's jump into the video. I will tell you guys, I do have an upcoming makeup diaries where I try to focus the week of makeup on products that I hauled during the sale. So that video will be coming if it's not already posted. Keep an eye out for that if you want to see some of these products more in depth on my face. I do have quite a few products on my face today as well, so I'll share them kind of as we go along. I'm going to start just with the fragrances that I hauled during the VIB sale because I did not put these into the categories and I figured we could just talk about fragrance quickly. So up first, this was the only go back. So I made my Sephora purchase and this was the only, I did 1 second purchase during the sale. Actually, I take that back, I did 3. This is my second purchase. I just purchased this. It's from Salt & Stone. It is their body mist and it is the bergamot and hinoki scent. You can see I already have a decent dent going with this, but that is because I've been using this as a bedtime night spray, kind of in my bed. And I will say I don't feel like this has a very long lasting power. It does have a really nice kind of aromatic, woodsy, zen, spa-like sort of scent. So I do really like using it at night, or occasionally in the morning I'll just spray a couple sprays on me right when I get up just to kind of wake me up. But I think this is a little bit overpriced for what it is, just because I feel like this just does not have the lasting power. It's not something I would repurchase. And if I could, this is a product that I'm not going to return, but if I could get my money back, if I could trade this for my money back, I probably would. I did purchase a second full-size fragrance during the sale. I purchased this one from Jo Malone. This is the Yuzu Zest Cologne. This is actually what I'm wearing today. I have really been enjoying this. I blind bought this. I had no idea what it was going to smell like, and I knew that was kind of a risk, but I thought that this bottle was so cute. I just could not resist. I'm gonna spray a little bit more on me. The one thing I will say about this fragrance, as I find with most Jo Malone fragrances, is that the lasting power just is not there. It just does not last all day, but this has a really nice kind of sharp citrus scent, and then it's mixed with some muskiness, and I love this. I think this smells so good. It's definitely a unisex, almost leaning masculine scent, but that is something that I really like. And the sort of muskiness mixed with that sharp, zesty citrus, I am just here for. I feel like this is the perfect summer fragrance. I really feel like this could take you from day to night. It could go either way. And I've been a really big fan of this. So this, I'm glad that I purchased. I don't see myself finishing this year, but if I finished this, I don't necessarily know that I would go out and repurchase, just because I would have the bottle. It's not my tippity top favorite fragrance of all time, but it's nice, it's enjoyable. It was worth buying it for the bottle. I don't think I would purchase it again. I would rather just purchase a different summer fragrance, try new things, but I'm going to enjoy using what I have. And again, I do get frustrated with the lasting power of Jo Malone fragrances. So then I also purchased the Kayali Yum Pistachio Gelato, just the little 10 ml, and I have really been enjoying this one as well. I'm so glad that I purchased this. It is a little bit sweeter than I typically like to go for, but it's not as sweet as a lot of other Kayali fragrances, at least in my opinion. Mixed with like the nuttiness of the pistachio, I really enjoy this. I mostly like wearing this, like I've been wearing this a lot to work. I feel like this might be a little heavy for like true like warm weather wear. Like I can't necessarily see myself wearing this out to like an outdoor summer activity, but I do like it. I did also have Ulta points to spend, and so one of the other fragrances I hauled was the new one from Vacation. This is the After Sun scent. And I will say I do like this. It does have that kind of like green aloe vera sort of like feel to it. Again, kind of gives like a spa-like zen sort of feel. It is, I don't like this one as much as the original Vacation scent. This is something that I, again, can kind of see myself wearing right away in the morning, perhaps on like a summer walk, or like spraying my bed with it before I go to sleep. But in terms of like an actual like summer fragrance that I'm wearing out to like activities, personally I prefer the Vacation scent. I don't think this is something I would repurchase, but I do actually plan to purchase Vacation this year because I used that so much last summer that I'm almost out. But if you like something a little bit lighter and a little bit more green, I think you would really like this. And then the final fragrance item that I picked up the Sephora Favorites perfume sampler set. This had 2, 4, 6, 8 different fragrances in it, and then you could redeem your voucher for a sample, like a travel size, and I ended up going with the Net Cocoa Fleur scent. I brought this with me to Las Vegas, and I really enjoyed this. It is kind of like a complex scent in that it does have this like summer coconut sort of feel, but it also almost gives like buttered popcorn. Like there is something about this that is just a little bit different. I don't think it'll be for everyone, but I really like it. And then I haven't yet gotten to testing all of the other fragrances in here, but I will say I have been enjoying the Flower Bomb Tiger Lily. Not something I could see myself like going out to purchase even like this size in, but I'm enjoying using the little 2 ml. And then I also really have been enjoying this Skylar Coconut Cove. I think that one's really good, as well as Juliette Hezegon Lust for Sun. Lust for Sun is heavily solar, like it's heavily solar. I don't think that one's gonna be for everyone, but I personally love a really solar scent, so I'm glad that I picked this up. And the one thing I will say is a lot of people complain about the Net like Travelers coming almost like 2/3 full, and I will say that the same thing happened with me. I got this and I was like, okay, that, and it didn't leak in the box, so just bear that in mind. But those are my thoughts on all of my fragrances. Now we can get into the products, and we can kind of go category for category, and we can start with the products that I personally do not recommend touching with a 10-foot pole. Now, the one product I do want to talk about that I know so many people like, so perhaps this would be a product for you, but it didn't work for me, and I actually returned this product. It's like the first beauty product I had returned in years. But you guys told me in the comments of my Sephora VIB Get Ready With Me, if a product isn't working for me, just don't feel guilty returning it. And the Sephora worker was honestly so nice about it. So it made me feel better about my return. Plus I exchanged it for another product. Anyway, that product is the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Tinted whatever. This just pilled on me every time that I tried to use it. It made my skin look drier than it is. And I was so sad because I know that there are dry skin girlies out there that love this product, but unfortunately it just did not work for me. I tried it with different primers. I probably tried this at least 6 or 7 times, and it just never looked flattering on me. And another product that I picked up during the sale that I fell in love with was the Supergoop Protect Tint Serum. And I got mine in a shade like a little bit too light for the summertime. So when I returned that, I ended up buying this in my summer shade. You'll see that in an upcoming like birthday haul. But I figured I would so much rather use this, and so I just returned that and got a second one of those. So that one I would say heck no to. Now this I didn't pick up during the VIB sale, but it's been sitting in my collection ready to talk about for a long time. And this one makes me really sad because I love Dior foundations, but the Dior Forever Natural Nude just did not work for me. I ended up picking this up at Ulta. I don't know if this is like an Ulta exclusive or you can also get this one at Sephora, but this one was definitely lighter coverage than the Dior Forever, just like the Dior Forever or the Dior Forever Skin Glow. lighter coverage, but definitely more mattifying, and just made my skin look so dry and scaly and crusty that I just could not. Again, like, I would put this away ready to test it, and then I'd be like, I'm gonna try it one more time. Maybe my skin was just really dry when I was trying it out. And then every time I used it, by like hour 5 or 6, my skin just looked like I was morphing into an actual lizard. So I can't. I've even tried mixing it with glowy products and it still doesn't work. And then the only other product I would say literally don't touch with a 10-foot pole, unfortunately, for me, it was the Tower 28 Lip Softy Tinted Lip Treatment. I really don't like this. I will use it up just because it would have to be like the absolute worst of the worst product ever for me to not finish a lip product. But the way that the packaging is, this just doesn't, I'm gonna put a little bit on my lips. It just doesn't like evenly go onto the lips even. It does have a really beautiful like dolce de leche sort of like scent to it, but it almost is like dry pilly, like, you know, like the dry pilly lip products. Like, there is something about the texture of this product I don't like. It stays on my lips for like 5 minutes before it's like wearing off. I feel like what is even the purpose? So I feel like I'll go through this really quickly because I have to constantly reapply if I want like anything on my lips. We're gonna get into some lip products that I purchased that I am absolutely in love with that are so much better than this. So save your money on this one. Don't buy it. Okay, the next category is products that I like, but I likely will not repurchase after I finish them. So the first product is the Huda Beauty Easy Bake Powder. I purchased mine in the shade Cherry Blossom Cake, so the pink powder. I actually have this underneath my eyes today, and I just prefer the Givenchy Prism Libre powder. This is just a little bit heavier in my opinion. If I don't want to look too heavy underneath the eyes, I really have to tap off my little puff, and it's just not, I just would much rather use the Givenchy. So for that reason, I know once I finish this, I won't repurchase. Now, I'm not having a problem using this. It's fine. In my opinion, there's just better on the market. So for me, if you're thinking about a pink powder or just a loose under eye setting powder that's gonna be really blurring, I personally would recommend the Givenchy over the Huda. It's just my personal opinion. Okay, second, Glossier actually sent this to me. I have gone through a full size of this in the past. I'm really enjoying using this again, but it's not something I would purchase after finishing. It is the Future Dew Oil Serum Hybrid. It is very glowy and very sticky. So if you don't like a glow, and if you don't like something that's like so tacky that it's almost a little bit distracting on the skin, I wouldn't recommend this. But I was really enjoying this throughout like the end of March, beginning of April, because it does add a really beautiful glow to the skin, and I have been suffering with even drier skin, I feel like, than normal. So anything to add a little bit of a glow. Plus I do love a tack in my primer. I've mostly used this as kind of a primer. I enjoy it for that. It's just not a product that is a favorite, not something I feel like I need to have in my collection, so won't purchase after finishing this. But if you like something really glowy and tacky, this might be a product worth checking out. Okay, another PR product, Kaja sent the Dewy Bars to me, and I really like these. I will say that. I just feel like I can't think of, aside from maybe like the Laura Mercier Fresco blush and maybe Buxom Seychelles, I cannot think of a blush that I would spend years finishing and then I would repurchase. Now this is beautiful. My favorite shade so far is Cranberry Cooler. I feel like it adds this really, really beautiful juicy dew to the cheeks. So if you don't like a dewy cheek, you're not gonna like this. I find that I best apply this if I put it on my hand first and then pick it up with a brush. I do not, mine also melted, but even my non-melted ones, I do not like to apply just to the cheeks because that can get a little bit patchy. It can apply kind of weird, but it is a really beautiful formula. I find mine actually lasts a pretty good amount of time. I feel like when I was in Vegas, I was reaching for this all the time, and I would come back after like 6 or 7 hours and like I could still see my blush, which I was really impressed by. But the only reason this is ending up in this category is I just don't ever see myself repurchasing a blush. I'm trying to think, okay, if all of my Kaja Dewy Bars were like mysteriously vanished though, I might go purchase Cranberry Cooler. I really, really like this for like a deeper, sultry nude shade. So perhaps if this like went missing and I hadn't used it a ton in its lifetime, wasn't yet bored of it, I would purchase this again. I like the formula a lot. So if there's a shade that you're like looking at, I would recommend the product. I just don't necessarily see myself repurchasing after finishing. All right, 2 more products in this category. I have the Fenty Beauty lip oil. This is really nice. We're gonna get to the Ole Henriksen Pout Preserve, which isn't necessarily a lip oil, but we're also gonna get to Too Faced Kissing Lip Jelly Oils. There's just other lip oils that I prefer over this one. I'm still happy to have this. I'm still happy to have tested it. It has a really nice thick doe foot, which I really like in a lip oil. It has a little bit more stick to it than your typical lip oil, so I feel like the longevity is there. I like the melon scent. It's just not the best lip oil I've ever tried, therefore I don't see myself repurchasing after. But I would say if you're curious about this, I think it's a nice lip oil. I just can't see myself repurchasing after I finish. And then the last product that I don't think I will repurchase is the Huda Beauty. Actually, I take that back. I actually take that back because I love this as a clear gloss. But I think more so it's like I don't love this formula enough to purchase more shades in it. This is by far the best clear gloss I have tried to date. It offers a very beautiful, very hydrated, juicy glow to the lips, and I really like it for a clear gloss. It beats my Tower 28, which was my Tower 28 Chill Gloss, which was previously my favorite clear gloss, so I take that back. I would purchase the shade Glassy again because it's always good to have a clear gloss in your collection, but I purchased Glassy, and I was gonna say if I loved it, like if it beat Lawless Forget the Filler for me, then I would go on to purchase more shades, but it doesn't top the Lawless Forget the Filler. But if you're looking for a very, very beautiful, just clear gloss, it's gonna be plumping and makes your lips look juicy, but it's not like painful. This is a good one. All right, the next category is products that I have really been enjoying, but I'm undecided on whether or not I would repurchase at this point in time. So first up, I have 2 of the Buxom lip glosses. These are the full-on plumping lip creams, and I have the shade Ginger Fizz and Blushing Margarita. I would say the Buxom glosses are my second favorite gloss for, honestly, probably just like my second favorite gloss. Ooh, for a plump. I also do really like the Fenty glosses. Anyway, I prefer not the lip polishes, but just the lip glosses. And so I think in the future I would just purchase the lip glosses, unless the lip polishes were part of the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty sale again, because I got both of these for half off. I will say Gin Fizz in the tube looks stark white, but it really is more beige on the lips, especially if you pair it with the right lip liner. And then I also have Blushing Margarita, which is a really beautiful pink. I love the Buxom glosses because they really do add a really beautiful plumpness to the lips without being too painful. They definitely have like a tingly, minty sensation, but it's nothing compared to like the Nabla Lip Viper. So I do like those. I think I would just purchase the glosses in the future. The One Size Secure the Glow Tacky Hydrating Primer, I have really been enjoying. This does feel so nice and hydrating on the skin. I just don't know, it's more expensive, and I also have the e.l.f. Niacinamide Gripping Primer, which I've really been liking. So once I get through this whole bottle, I can't say for certain whether or not I would purchase this, but if you are looking for something that is both hydrating as well as tacky, I do really like this. And it feels like a luxury to be putting this on the face. Like, it does feel so smooth as you apply it and just so hydrating. So I do really like it for that purpose. But I love to test and try new things. That's why I'm like, it's undecided whether or not I would purchase this again. But if you've had your eye on it, I think it's a great product and I would recommend. The next product I'm undecided on, but I'm leaning towards would repurchase, is one that Glossier sent me. This is one of their liquid bronzers. I have the shade Dune. I feel like sometimes a liquid bronzer really scares me, and I brought this with me to Vegas to try and get myself to use it, but I honestly didn't expect that I would use it. And then I ended up using this on the last day, and this just adds such a beautiful sun-kissed glow to the face that I was just living for it. It's so seamless and just so like natural because it is a liquid bronzer. I feel like it just like looks like bronzed skin. It doesn't look like a makeup product sitting on your face, and I was here for it. They did send me the entire range. I want to try using this kind of like I did with my Tower 28 like West Coast bronzer last summer. I'm planning to mix this with like a liquid highlight and then like put it all over my body here, so it's like a body blurring bronzer. Love that. I'll report back once I actually do that, but so far I've really been liking this. I've only used it 3 times though so far, so that's why I'm like, I don't know, maybe it's just like, you know, we're having fun in the beginning, but like we might, you know, not like each other as we get to know each other a little bit better, you know. It could be that situation, I'm not sure yet, but so far first impressions, third impressions, I've really been liking this. Okay, both blushes that I picked up during the sale, I'm like, you know, I don't know, I'm really liking them, but like, again, would I get bored of them? The Patrick Ta blush in She's the Moment, this is so beautiful, especially if you love a sun-kissed cheek. I do like a sun-kissed, sunburnt sort of vibe. And what I like about this is it's more of like a peachy pink, whereas the last couple of years I've been leaning more towards a red. I wore this to work yesterday and I got so many compliments on my blush. I did actually go into a Sephora yesterday and I swatched, what's the one that's like, not the pink one that came out with this, the nude one. It looked so freaking pretty. What is it called? Not Too Much or something like that. I almost purchased it, but I was like, girl, you don't need to. I have 3 total Patrick Ta blushes now. I've always had really good success with these. I really like that you have both the cream and the powder, and I actually do typically apply where I do the powder first and then the cream on top, and I really like the way that that looks. I know that these are pricey, but I would say if you were wanting to try, I would say these are one of my more favorite blush formulas that I have tried in my lifetime with playing with makeup. So maybe pick the shade that you think speaks to you most, that you'll get the most use out of, and I would say go for it. Again, I really love the blush formula. I can't see myself ever finishing a blush and then purchasing the same blush. I did that back in college. There was like a Clinique blush. Oops. There was like a Clinique blush that I wish I would remember which one it was, but I purchased that like at least 3 times. Anyway, next up we have the Rare Beauty powder blush in the shade Cheer. I actually have this on my cheeks today, more as a blush topper. I do have the Laura Mercier blush in the shade Fresco on my cheeks, and then I topped my cheeks with this. I don't have a highlight on my cheeks today, so this offers a really beautiful glow, but I definitely prefer it more as a blush topper than a standalone blush, because I think it can end up looking a little metallic if you don't have a little almost like matte cheek pigment underneath. I don't know, that's just the way that I've personally been preferring it. This I'm leaning more towards would repurchase when I finish it, and the reason I said it is I could see myself purchasing another shade in this. I could also see myself purchasing another shade in this, so that's where I'm like, okay, maybe I should have like bumped these up one category. But this is beautiful. I kind of want like a more like orangey shade as well, just because I love a glowy cheek. I love a blush topper because it adds this beautiful glow to the cheeks, which I'm just here for. And I've been like really loving a more peachy coral orangey sort of situation lately, so I really have been enjoying this. Again, it can look a little bit metallic if you use it as a standalone blush. I've also heard that these are extremely delicate, so if you drop it, it might break. So just be leery of that, but I have enjoyed my time with this so far. And then the final product in this category is my Gucci bronzer. And I have the Gucci bronzer on today. This is in the shade 1. I also own the shade 3. So technically this was a repurchase. And the only reason I'm like, I don't know if I would repurchase is because it's so expensive. Now I think maybe you can get refills of this. I do really like the formula. I think it's really beautiful, really smooth. It's not too light, but it's also not too pigmented, so you can kind of build it up. And I like that the shade 1 has a bit of a rosy undertone to it, because I do typically tend to lean more cool. It is a very, very thin powder, so it is quite smooth. I will say my number 3 powder, and it could be because it's a little too deep for me, that one almost is too pigmented, so maybe that one isn't as buildable, but because it has such a smooth, buttery finish, or the powder is just so finely milled, it really does just seamlessly blend onto the skin. So I feel like I'm talking myself into would repurchase, but I know it is such a pricey product. NYX did just release bronzers that do have more of a rosy undertone. I did purchase one, but I haven't yet gotten around to testing it, so maybe that would be like a potential like less expensive alternative. But if you're looking, the one other thing I will complain about is the packaging is just so bulky, but it is so beautiful. So if you're looking to treat yourself, if you're looking to splurge, it is a beautiful formula. The only reason it's in this category is because it's so expensive. I'm like, would I even have the money to purchase when I finish? I honestly don't know. Okay, you guys, I do have a presentation that I have to give at work today, and I need to leave, so I'm not late to that. So hopefully my makeup will be intact when I get off of work and I can film the products that either already have been repurchased, were repurchased during the sale, or there's so many good products. But anyway, I have all those products to share either at work today or I'll film it tomorrow. So sorry for the jump scare, but I don't want to be late to my presentation. Okay, you guys, it is 12 hours later. We are back. We are looking less fresh than you just saw me, so I apologize for that. The presentation today at work, it went well. It went well. Thank you so much for asking. And I'm here to end on a high note with you guys with the final products that I have either already repurchased or would repurchase after finishing SIP. Let's get into those. Let's first get into the products that are already repurchases. We can start with this. Flawless Forget the Filler. We know it's my favorite. We know I love it. I've literally been talking about this since, okay, I first got Flawless Forget the Filler in like April 2021. So we're riding on 3 years. 3 years. 3 years of this gloss being my favorite. Like, you know it's good when it's been a favorite for 3 years. And nothing has topped this. There's never been a better lover. This is superior. So specifically, this is in the shade Nudie, which is the newest shade that I picked up. I really do enjoy the shade. I think it's really beautiful. It's this really beautiful like pinky nude shade, which I absolutely love. It's like this pale pink, no shimmer to it, and I just think it's so beautiful. It's perfect for like a really bronzy look. If you just want that like milky, juicy nude lip, like the vision is there, and I love this. This is definitely a shade I would consider purchasing again. I think my favorite shades to date, I love Juicy Watermelon for like a pink lip. I really like this shade for a nude lip. I love the shade Velvet for like a perfect, for me, Your Lips But Better. And I love the Cherry Vanilla as well, because it kind of like brings me back to like cherry chapstick, and it's just like nostalgic, and I really love that one. Really a big fan of this shade, and I would purchase this shade again. So first there's that. Then we can talk about the Hoola bronzer from Benefit next. I picked this up during the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty sale, and I actually have gone through a full-size mini I almost said Benna. I did say Benna. Anyway, I've gone through many of these in the past, and I figured I would pick it up at half off because I remember maybe like 4 or 5 months ago, I was like watching old videos, doing research for another video, and there was a couple of videos where I had my makeup listed out and I was wearing the Benefit Hoola bronzer, and I was like, dang, I really like the way my bronzer looks there. So I purchased it again, and I'm very, very, very pleased with this. I don't have this on today, but as I said, that makeup diaries, I do have at least, I think, 2 days that I'm wearing the Hoola Benefit, and I've really been enjoying this. This was such a good pickup. I feel like this is just such a classic, like just solid bronzer. Like I love it. So would repurchase. I did repurchase, so there's that. Next, this was also a repurchase. So I had a little like trial size of the Beautiful Skin Radiant Concealer from Charlotte Tilbury, and it quickly became like my new favorite concealer. I just love what it does for smoothing underneath my eyes and for coverage. I actually have the Tower 28 concealer on today, but if I'm wanting like full glam, or even like not necessarily full glam, but I just want like the smoothest under eyes, I have been reaching for this. This is a little bit creamier, a little bit thicker, and a little bit heavier than like the Tower 28, but I just, again, love this for underneath the eyes, and so I picked this up. I have the shade 3, and it's working really well for me. Moving on to, we can talk about this one next. So this is the Too Faced Kissing Jelly Lip Gloss. I got mine in the shade Bubblegum, and after wearing this for like a full day, first of all, I love this shade. It's this really fun pink with just like a bunch of sparkle and a bunch of glitter. I get that's not going to be for everyone, but I freaking loved it. So I was like, I need at least one more shade. So before the sale ended, purchase number 3 in the sale was just, actually not one lone purchase. I purchased these 2 products together. We'll get into this next, but I purchased a second Kissing Jelly lip gloss, and I picked up the shade Sour Watermelon. Now Sour Watermelon does not have any sort of a sparkle to it, but it's this really beautiful, just like, it really ends up being pretty sheer on the lips, but it is like the sheer pink gloss. It literally smells almost like a watermelon Sour Patch Kid, or like the sour like watermelon gummies. I love it. If I had to only, like if I could only keep one shade, personally I would pick the bubblegum, just because I really like the sparkle and the shine that it gives my lips. This is, but also the sparkly one, it's very, like there's no grittiness to it. You don't feel the sparkle to your lips. You know how some sparkly lip glosses or glittery lip glosses, the trade-off is like you feel the texture of it. This is completely smooth on the lips. This is like a great hybrid between an oil and a gloss, where I feel like it does have lasting power. This lasts so much longer than the Tower 28 Lip Softy, so much longer. It's so comfortable and thin on the lips like a lip oil, but it adds a shine to the lips like a lip gloss, and has the longevity, like it has more lasting power than your typical lip oil. It has lasting power like a lip gloss. So I'm a huge fan of this. Like if I had every shade of this, I'd be so happy. But I can tell you right now, bubblegum will be a continuous repurchase for me. I just really enjoy the shade, really enjoy the formula. So this was a big win. In that third purchase I made during the VIB sale, I picked up the Supergoop Power Tint Daily SPF Tint because I saw Taylor Wynn talking about this, and I just wanted to give it a try. She talked about how her like go-to everyday makeup routine was just like spot concealing and then a tinted SPF like this. And I was like, I kind of want to be that girly. I don't want to be always like just full glam. And I brought this with me to Las Vegas and I fell in love. Like, I love that this says SPF 50. I did not burn, and I was outside 90 degrees plus at Zed. Like, we were at the pool like for 6+ hours and I did not burn using this SPF. So I actually went on recently. You'll see it in the upcoming birthday haul. I have purchased this in my summer shade as well, because this one is a little bit too light for me. I've been having to mix it with my bronzing drops, but I kind of just I wanted a shade that matched me without having to mix it. So I loved this one so much already that I have already gone on to repurchase this. So I thought I would just talk about this really quick as well. So I hauled this like right before my Vegas trip. I wanted a gripping primer, so I went out and purchased the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer with niacinamide, and I really like this. For an affordable gripping primer, this is great. I also really love the LYS gripping primer. That one is $20, and that one is literally like Gorilla Glue on your face. Like, it is like glue. It literally feels like glue. This one does as well, but not quite to that level. But because this one is so inexpensive, I'm like, okay, I like this one better than the Power Grip Primer. I don't know why. Like, I feel one way, like I like this one better. I'm not sure why. I'm so mad at myself. I did not pick up the Watermelon Pop e.l.f. primer when it released. They said it was like a limited release. I didn't believe them, but actually it was, because I can't find it anymore. But this is a great alternative, and I'm pretty confident. Like, I'm pretty confident I can say I will always like have this in my collection unless I go back to the LYS, but the LYS was out of stock last time I checked, and this is just a great option for $10, and it's perfect for the summer. This is like the only primer I used when I was in Vegas because I didn't want my makeup to move, and it really did help my makeup last all day. So wanted to show that out. And then the final two products to talk about, we really like, we hit it out of the park with foundation, aside from I guess the Danessa Myricks was also not great. But anyway, the final two products I have to talk about are the other two foundations that I purchased. So the one I have on my face today, which again, we've been wearing for 12 hours now, so don't judge me too hard, but the Very Valentino Light Lasting Perfecting Foundation, I have been loving, and I'm so glad that I love it because it was so expensive. I was teetering back and forth on whether or not I should purchase it, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna give it a try. I'm gonna treat myself, and it is so smooth on the face. It reminds me of like the Dior Forever foundations, where I just feel so pretty. I feel like my makeup looks flawless. I feel like my foundation looks flawless. It doesn't age me, and it's just so beautiful on the skin. It's kind of like a almost, oh, it's not like a totally matte finish, almost like a satin matte finish, where it still like looks like skin, but it's not dewy to the point where like you're not gonna get the wear time on it. I really like this. I definitely would purchase this again. You guys warned me in the comments when I hauled this that many people say the shelf life on this, like they were getting theirs and the shelf life like wasn't even, like it was expiring within a year. And I will say my expiration is October of 2024. You don't get a full ounce of product in this. You get 0.84 ounces. So I am just going to use that as an excuse to not be afraid to reach for this. Like, it doesn't have to be the most special occasion that I'm reaching for this. I'd like to use it up before the end of the year, especially if it's expiring in October, like hopefully at least by the end of the year, and I would purchase again. Like, I've been so happy with this. It was a good purchase. I know it's a splurge, but a splurge worth splurging in my opinion. And then finally, I have the Haus Labs Triclone Skin Tech Foundation. I've been wearing this quite a bit as well. I will say I think this one lasts a little bit longer than this one. Both are so smoothing on the face. This one reminds me a lot of the Laura Mercier foundation, and just that it just adds a filter to the face, but this is so thin that it doesn't feel heavy. It almost doesn't feel like I'm wearing foundation. I forgot to mention, I feel like both of these are pretty good self-setters. Like, I don't feel like I have to go in with powder, and it still lasts all day. I will say towards the very end of my work day, if it's like a longer day, like I'm at the office for like 9 to 10 hours, I do notice it's mostly just that like I'm getting dry and I'm noticing like my makeup's breaking up just a little bit, but it's still flattering, and I'm so happy with this one as well. I'm a little bit upset with myself for waiting so long to purchase this. This has been in multiple Sephora VIB shop with me's, and I've always like purchased something else, but I can absolutely see myself purchasing this again. I feel like last year into this year, my just makeup preferences have changed, and a lot of the foundations in my collection that I used to really love, I'm not loving as much, so I'm kind of having to like refined foundations that I'm really loving. And these two, the Guerlain, the Supergoop for a skin tint, and my Dior Forever Skin Glow, as well as the Lancome, I've really been liking. So really glad that I found another foundation that is working so well for me. But after that, you guys, that is going to wrap it up for my Sephora VIB / a few other items sprinkled in speed reviews. Would love to know if you picked up any products during the sale, what your thoughts are on any of these products. Let a girl know in the comments below. May is my birthday month. I'm trying to like not give myself the excuse that it's my birthday to like splurge on a bunch more items, but if there's an item out there that you think I need to like purchase for my birthday, let me know what you think that is. That is it for today's video though, you guys. Thanks so much for sticking around to watch and for supporting me and my channel as you guys always do. I love you guys so much, and I will catch you in my next video. Bye. Oh, P.S. I'm about to go out, although it looks like it's about to rain. I'm about to go out for a walk before like the sun sets. And if you caught, I think it was my Sephora VIB shop with me, I was talking about like, ooh, the dogs are gonna be barking at me because it's gonna be like a hot girl summer walk, but I felt awkward saying like a hot girl summer walk. And I was like, but I'm gonna be looking so good, like the dogs that were passing are gonna be like sniffing me because I'm gonna be smelling so good and looking so good. Well, I don't know if I'm gonna be looking fresh faced. They're gonna be sniffing my Joe Alone fragrance. Why did I like, I should probably just clip that out. Like, I feel like that made no sense, but maybe it'll make someone laugh. Anyway, if you made it till the end and heard that, leave me a dog emoji in the comments. Love you guys. Bye. I just turned my camera off, and then I like went to go to the bathroom really quick, looked in the mirror and was like, I forgot to talk about 2 more products that I absolutely would purchase again. So I have the Charlotte Tilbury Lip Cheat in Iconic Nude. Really love, I have this on right now. Really just, it's like the perfect, like my perfect shade. I love it, and I've been getting much more into lip liner, and I do feel like this one does last a lot longer than many of the other lip liners I've tried. Now, I don't need to go purchase the whole range, but I would definitely consider purchasing 1 or 2 more shades if I find shades that I like. I'm also considering a Makeup Forever lip liner, so let me know if you think that's worth it. But one of my absolute favorite purchases of the VIB sale is the Ole Henriksen Pout Preserve, which is also on my lips. I have the shade Cocoa Creme. I actually, at work today, left and then went to go pick my daughter up from school, and then I was like, wait, where is my Pout Preserve? Because I had this out like sitting with me, and I was reapplying throughout the day. And then it was like not on the front seat, and I was like, oh my gosh. So then I'm like sitting at like school pickup in my car waiting for school to get let out. And I went onto the Ulta website, added it to my cart, and I was like, I should check underneath my seat before actually placing an order. And I checked under my seat, and it did fall under my seat, but I literally was ready to purchase it same day again because I love this so much. It is so smooth on the lips. It's literally not sticky at all. It's also not one of those lip formulas, the Rare Beauty ones. You know those lip products where you feel like you constantly have to be like this? The Rare Beauty lip balms, oh my gosh, the most distracting lip product of life. But it's not one of those lip products, and it truly feels like the most nourishing day lip product. Like definitely the Laneige lip sleeping mask or like the Sigma lip sleeping mask is a little bit thicker for like nighttime. But if I want that same hydration I'm getting from those two products, but I want like a daytime product I can like get away with wearing during the day that's not gonna be like super thick on my lips, this is it. Also, I love the shade. I love a brownie nude lip. I love this shade. I'm so mad at myself. I feel like I already said this earlier this morning. So mad at myself because the Pout Preserve and Blood Orange Spritz, I should have purchased that. And now you can't get it anymore. Like, why is it not available anymore? Please bring that shade back, especially for the summertime. Like, I'm thinking of drinking like a blood orange margarita. I can think of the blood orange margarita at Brick and Bourbon with my little Pout. Like, how aesthetic would that be? I could take the cutest picture for Instagram. Ulla Henriksen, please come back with the blood orange spritz. But I definitely would purchase this again. Was about to repurchase it again when I thought that I lost it. I am trying to be good and not purchase the other couple of shades because I want them to come back with the blood orange spritz. They have a clear one right now, and I'm like, okay, I don't necessarily need another clear gloss. Like, I'd rather have a second one of these. And then they have a pink one, and I'm like, I don't necessarily want the pink one. I want the blood orange. I want the blood orange. Or I want not like a clear, but like a nude. I want them to expand this range. It's so good. $22 I actually don't think is a bad price for this. It's, you guys, if you take anything away from this, it's my lip products and my foundation. There's so many good products that I found, but I really did love this. Anyway, I'm actually gonna go for a walk now. Thank you guys for putting up with me. I love you so much, and I'll catch you in my next video. Bye.